Okay guys, at number 6 is gonna be very controversial, so hear me out. I'm gonna put the at number 6. The 2024 season is a couple months away, so here's my early division final rankings. Obviously anything can still happen because it is still the off season, so some trades could happen, some signings could still happen, so some of these predictions could still change in the near future. I will be doing another video. I will be doing one of these videos again right when the season is about to start, so you can see my final predictions after the off season is over. So let's do this early because hey, it's fun doing this to see if we get our predictions right, to see how close we were at the end of the year. So make sure to comment below and play along with me, guys, and see if you guys got it right as well. And I'm doing a new thing on this channel where I am going to be shouting out someone's comment from the video prior. So make sure to comment anything, be nice, then you have a chance of being in one of my videos. Today's comment is gonna be from Adam House 6205. He commented a timestamp 1337, said just why that is when the Penguins beat the Ottawa Senators in double overtime to advance to the Stanley Cup Finals, and he got very upset with that. I get it. Thank you for commenting, man. It really does help out a lot. If you guys want to be in the next videos, just make sure you comment on the video and be subscribed and you're all good. Let's get straight into this video. All right guys, we're gonna start with the Metropolitan Division. I'm trying to go a little quicker. Won't be talking about each team too long. Hopefully it's not an hour episode. Hopefully it's not an hour video here. Let's start with number 8 here in the Metropolitan Division. I feel like it is quite obvious on this division. It is going to be the Philadelphia Flyers. This team is really bad. I talked about this before. I do like what Briere is doing. He is trying to make the team better, and he's being a little bit aggressive with his trades here. But bad team. They're going to be a bad team for a couple years. I think that is pretty damn obvious for the Flyers. And honestly, now number 7, I think is pretty obvious as well. But I'm going to say it's the Washington Capitals. I don't like how this team is built, if I'm being honest with you. I think they're getting older and they don't have much depth on their team. I feel like I say this every time I talk about the Capitals. They only really care about Ovechkin scoring goals and breaking the Gretzky record. I feel like that's all they care about, and that's what they're going to strive for. And hey, I don't mind it. You guys had a success already, and now your core is getting older. I get you signed Pacioretty, but he's not going to be doing too much. So I think Capitals at 7. Ovi's going to score 50, and that's what their goal is, man. I think that's what their goal is. Hey, you can't blame them too much. It is what it is. I think they're going to be in a rebuild soon, but it is what it is. Let's go to number 6, guys. It's very hard for me to say this, but I'm going to say the Pittsburgh Penguins, man. Like, this is my team. I love this team with a passion, but I'm not loving our roster. Obviously, we have Crosby, we have Malkin, we have Letang, and things could change if we get Carlson. That's why I did preface that in the beginning. Things could change if we get Carlson, but I don't like, our team is very old, just like the Capitals. We don't have much young players. Our depth did get better. Our defense is Goaltender Tristan Jarry, how's he gonna do? I don't know if I like Riley Smith on our top 6. I don't know really. There's a lot of questions with this Penguins team. Obviously 6 is very bold because I do think we could make playoffs. So I think we're still in the possible playoff position, but I'm gonna put 6, man. I'm gonna put 6. I think 6 to 4 are complete flip-flops within 4 points. So that's why I did this. It's not like, oh, the Penguins are 10 points out. I think we're probably 4 to 6 points away from these teams from 4th place. So I think it's gonna be very close and completely flip-flop. Let's go to number 5. Who is going to be in this limbo? I'm gonna say is the Columbus Blue Jackets. Blue Jackets, they did improve in the offseason. They got Severson, they got Provorov, their defense got better, and you have Adam Fantilli from the draft. And you guys had a lot of injuries early last year, so you guys did not have a really good season because you're obviously a lot of injuries. Lineups were all changed, and you didn't have all your top players. So now you have Line A full-time. Hopefully he stays healthy. Hopefully Gaudreau is all good. I'm thinking Fantilli's gonna have a pop-off here, guys. I think he's gonna score 30, 100%, and he's gonna be competing with Bedard for Rookie of the Year. I would not be surprised if Fantilli wins Rookie of the Year. I think he's gonna be that good. You guys gotta steal. Ducks are gonna be very upset with it by not taking him. I'm gonna be honest with you. So I think Columbus sneaks up to 5 somehow. Obviously I hope not, because I want the Penguins to do good, but I gotta be realistic here. I think Columbus moves up to 5. Maybe even sneaks up into 4, maybe hits a wild card. Who knows? Let's go to number 4, guys. That is going to be the New York Islanders. I always talk about this team. They don't have enough scoring. You have Horvat, you have Peugeot, who might get traded. You have Barzal. Defense is really good. Pelech, really good defenseman. Obviously, your best player on the team is Ilya Sorokin. He's going to steal a lot of games this year. It really helps being this high in the standings when you have a top 3 goalie in the NHL. If Penguins have top 3 goalie in the NHL, we would definitely make playoffs every year, but we do not. Okay, Tristan Jarry, I'm sorry. But Ilya Sorokin is that guy, man. He is that guy. Even if you guys don't score a lot, that's where Sorokin comes in, because he can still use some games. He always likes to go low scoring games, but you guys need to get the depth scoring. Brock Nelson should not be your leading scorer. I'm being honest with you. He should not be your leading point scorer. Nelson's very, very good, but it should be Barzal. It should be Horvat. And I think Horvat probably does get the most points this next year because he's very, very good. So the Islanders, I think they will do better. It doesn't help that they don't really add anyone in the past 2 off seasons, which is very confusing, but it is what it is. I think the Islanders are 4. The number 3 here, I feel like this is pretty easy top 3 here. I think everyone really has it. It's the New York Rangers at 3. Very, very good team on paper. Panarin, Zibanejad, Kreider, Adam Fox, Shesterkin. Obviously, I had to name everyone. Very, very good players, man. Very, very good team. Obviously, playoffs time, it did not work out. It did not really do well in the playoffs. Panarin, again, did not show up, did not score at all. So maybe he has a revenge season. But you guys did lose a lot of players. You don't have Kane anymore. You don't have Tarasenko anymore. Obviously, Kane maybe comes back, but I doubt it. But you guys lost a lot of depth. And bottom 6 is still probably an issue in my opinion, and then sometimes the depth of on the defensive is an issue as well. So I think Rangers depth issue might be a problem, but as long as the top players are scoring, then you guys are going to be good. Obviously in playoffs that did not happen, and that's why you guys did lose to the New Jersey Devils. Speaking of the Devils, they are going to be number 2 in my opinion. Very, very good team. Probably top 3 in the NHL, top 3, top 5 in the NHL for sure. One of the youngest teams in the NHL, and still one of the best in the NHL, which is very, very surprising to say. Last year, made it to the second round. They did obviously lose to the Hurricanes, but they got the experience, is what they really needed. They needed the experience, and that's what they got. And this team is going to be insane, man. Top 6, probably top 3 in the NHL. Their depth is solid. Their defense is solid. With Hughes, maybe even Nemeth comes in. This team is going to be super, super good as long as their goalie can stay consistent. If Schmid or Vanacek can play solid, I'm taking Schmid, man. I'm taking Schmid. I think Schmid is going to seal the net from Vanacek and never look back. I think Schmid might be the future of the New Jersey Devils. So let's hope so. If he can do that, honestly, this Stanley Cup might become the Devils' win in a couple years. Number 1 is going to be the Carolina Hurricanes. These are my Stanley Cup favorites, guys. I've been saying this. Like, where is their downfall? Like, what is bad about the Hurricanes? Maybe goaltending, you say, Anderson and Ransa. Like, it's not a bad duo, but it definitely helps when you have a very good defense in front of you. And they still in the Carlson mix. Like, this team is nasty, man. Look at their decors. I guess it's not even fair, man. Obviously, goal scoring might be an issue. Aho, unreal player. Svechnikov, as long as he can stay healthy, perfectly fine. Teravainen, unreal. This team is super, super stacked. I think they're my favorites to win the Stanley Cup and definitely win the Metropolitan Division. All right, guys, next up we're going to be doing is the Atlantic Division. We're going to finish off the Eastern Conference here. So let's get straight into this Atlantic Division, guys. So obviously, I just made a video on this before on the Atlantic Division. So we're going to go over this one pretty damn quick. Number 8, we all know who it is. We all know who it is. That is the Montreal Canadiens. This team is not any good, guys. I'm being honest with you. We already know this. This team is not good. Probably the best division in hockey. This is clear cut the worst NHL team in this division. Probably even top 3 worst in the NHL. I mean, they have some good younger players. Caulfield, hopefully he can stay healthy. Suzuki's very, very good. No goaltender. Defense is not the greatest. I don't like Slavkovsky, I'm being honest with you. Maybe Ryan Backer can come in at some point, but Canadiens definitely number 8, 100%. But now, it's honestly 1 through 7 could completely flip-flop. That's why this division is going to be so fun to watch next year, because I'm telling you, the last game of the year is going to decide 2 playoff spots, guys. That's crazy. It's definitely not going to be, it's going to be playoff hockey for this division for the last like 10 games, which is going to be so fun to watch, guys. So fun to watch. But let's go to number 7 here, guys. I'm going to say it is the Detroit Red Wings. I just think this team is very good, man. They did get better, but it's not like it's not 7 because they're a bad team. It's 7 because this division is super stacked. That's what it is, guys. That's really what it is. Goaltenders, is Husso going to be the guy? Is he going to be taking the next step? I don't know, man. Like, we really don't know how Husso's going to do. I'm hoping defense did get better in Detroit. We'll see what happens there, but I'm gonna put them a 7 once again, not because they're bad, just because the division is super, super stacked. I do like the Red Wings. I like where the future's going. You gotta trust the Yzerman process, right? You gotta trust the Yzerman process. Adding to Brinkett, how's he gonna do on this team? I think he's gonna score probably 30 goals this year. I don't think he's gonna score 40, but this forward core did get better, man. This forward core did get better. Depth might be an issue, but we'll see with the Red Wings. I'm going to put them at 7 for now. Okay, guys, at number 6 is going to be very, very controversial, so hear me out. I'm going to put the Boston Bruins at number 6. Might be recency bias, but I just feel like the Bruins, if you look at the roster, nothing stands out anymore. I know they really did lose a lot of depth. They lost their captain. Some of their star players who had a really good season last year might not have a same season. Olmark is not going to have the same season he did last year. He's going to fall off not tremendously, but he's gonna have a decent fall off because he had a star, like he had a Hall of Fame season basically last year. Unreal season. He's not gonna recreate that. I'm telling you right now, he's not gonna recreate that. The team got worse. It did. You gotta admit that team got worse. Top 6. Charlie Corral's your second line center. He's a good player, but he's a third line center. You know that, guys. You know he's a third line center. JVR on the second line. I'm just not liking this team. I'm being honest with you. In the offseason, all you did was sign depth. I don't like what you guys did. Obviously, you have Pasternak. Obviously, you have Marchand. You have some really good players. You still have McAvoy. You still have Lindholm. You have a very good star, like top team. But the supporting cast on this team, in my opinion, is just not good. Not the greatest. Lucic is not good anymore. To be honest with you, he's not good anymore. Obviously, I feel like this will change by my next predictions before the end of the season. But as of now, it is recency bias because some of these teams did just get better. So I'm gonna put the Bruins at 6, man. I'm putting them at 6. If I look on paper, Bruins are not the better team. I'm being honest with you. Once again, it's not because they're bad. They're gonna be competing. They're gonna be 5-6 points out. But it's just the teams above them I think are better. I'm being honest with you. Number 5 is going to be the Buffalo Sabres. This team is stacked, man. This team is really, really good. Just like the Devils, this team's very, very young. Obviously, no playoff experience yet. This team is really, really good, man. Dahlin took the next step, but I think he has the next one. I think he could reach the Cale Makar status, guys. Dahlin is that guy. He's that good. You have Cousins still, who hasn't really taken the next step, who's a very, very good player. You have Levi. You have Ukko-Pekka Luukkonen. I don't know which of those goaltenders are going to be their goalie, who's going to be stealing the starting spot, but I haven't even named other good players yet, guys. This team is very, very good. They're going to take the next step. They barely missed playoffs last year. They're going to take the next step again. They're hungry. They really are hungry. Sabres fans deserve this, and I'm going to give it to them. I'm going to say 5. Does that mean playoff spot? Probably not, but it's going to be close, and I would not be surprised if I put them up more before the season even starts for my final predictions. Once again, guys, this is early, so this stuff is meant to be kind of bold and maybe not even happen, but hey, that's the fun of it, right, guys? That's the fun of it. Number 4 here is gonna be the Ottawa Senators. I just made a video on them recently. This team got very good, man. This team got good. They just added Tarasenko. If you look at this team, guys, Josh Norris is coming back. Huge player. Scored 40 goals, I think, right, guys? The Ottawa fans, I know you're here. I think he put a 40. I think he did. You still have Giroux. You have Batherson. You have Brady Tkachuk. You have Stutzla. I'm not naming all the players, but you have Shabbat on the back end. You have Chikrin on the back end. You have Jake Sanderson on the back end. You have a very, very good team through up and down the lineup. Bottom 6 might not be the greatest, but the third line, honestly, is pretty damn solid. But one issue, like I said before, might be the goaltending. Korpisalo, low risk, high reward-ish, because you guys do. Honestly, you guys need to start competing again, to be honest with you. So I don't really think it's a low risk because it is kind of a high risk because he needs to perform, if I'm being honest with you. I feel like Talbot he really let you guys down last year. But now you really need Korpisalo to have you guys take the next step. So I think, honestly, it's high risk and high reward because you guys need the results. You guys really need the results because you can't have the stacked team without making the playoffs again. So you guys got to do that. I think you guys do it, man. I think you guys do it. It's the chemistry thing. Like, at the same time, I can think, okay, how are they going to mess it up? Like, how are they going to mess this up? And I think they're going to be a very, very fun team to watch. There's a lot of offensive players on their team. It's going to be very, very fun hockey to watch. And hopefully the fans support it. It's going to be very fun hockey to watch. Number 3 here is going to be the Florida Panthers. They just went to the Stanley Cup Finals. They did lose a couple players, did gain a couple players. Who knows about this team, if I'm being honest with you. It's honestly, like I said before, it might be the goaltending, man. Is it Bobrovsky going to be what he was in the playoffs? It was a long playoffs for him. He played a lot of hockey. Is he going to perform like he did? I think he can do it. Can he do it for an entire season? That is the real question. I feel like he might fall off, or I think it's going to be one way. I think it's going to be either a very strong start and a bad ending, or a very bad start and a good ending. I think that's what it is. Just like this season, they had a very average start in the very ending. They caught hot, and they obviously went all the way to the Stanley Cup Finals. So that is what happened. I think they're a good team on paper, man. You can't bet against Matthew Tkachuk, Barkov, Reinhart. They have a really good team, man. They do have a really good team. Hopefully their defense honestly did get better as well. So I think this team could definitely go far in the playoffs again. Number 2 is going to be the Tampa Bay Lightning. I know the team got worse in the offseason-ish. They lost a couple depth. They lost Killorn, obviously. But they still have all their superstars, man. Stamkos, Kucherov, Braden Point, Hedman, Vasilevsky. They have a very, very good team still. And the reason I really put them here is because they have rest, what they didn't have the last 3 years. They made the Stanley Cup Finals 3 times in a row. That is uncalled for, man. That is unheard of. That is unheard of. And now they lost in the first round. Obviously, they didn't do it on purpose, but now they have the rest. They had a longer offseason than they had in a long time. So now they're going to be fully rested and more hungrier to make it back to the Stanley Cup Finals. And I think they get to second place here and go into the playoffs. And who knows? I wouldn't want to play Tampa Bay in the playoffs. I'm being honest with you, I wouldn't want to do that. So that is that, guys. Now, number one, it's going to be the Toronto Maple Leafs, guys. Because I know there's a lot of question marks around this team. They're still over the cap. I get it. Goaltender situation is not the greatest. But this team is very, very good, man. Obviously, you have Matthews. Who knows what's going to happen with Nylander? Is he going to get traded? Is he going to take a lower money? I doubt it, because, I mean, I wouldn't if I was him either, because all my teammates are getting the bag. Why would I want to get the bag too? You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of weird if just me taking, like, the discount. It's kind of messed up. So who knows what happens to him? Even if you trade him, you're going to get a player back. Obviously, maybe not at his caliber, but Maple Leafs will figure it out, man. You have Matthews, Marner, Tavares, Morgan Riley, Klingberg on the back end is going to help him with offense. Obviously, defense might be an issue there, but I do think the defense did get worse. The offense got better, man. You had a Max Domi and Bertuzzi, so very good offensive depth on this team. The firepower just got better for sure. Defense got worse in my opinion, so that might be an issue, because obviously that is one big part of the Maple Leafs that is a problem, is the defense, man. You always let in a lot of goals because you're always offense. Your goaltenders, really, you don't have a top 3 goaltender. You don't have a top 10 goaltender, so you really can't trust the goalie make those key time saves. So hopefully Samsonov could take them to the next step. Obviously, he has a 1-year deal, so we'll see what happens. He's playing for another contract. You know what I mean? He's playing for another contract, so he's going to be having a really good year, and I think he can do that. So that is the Atlantic Division right there. All right, guys, now it is the Pacific Division. This division is very, very interesting. Stanley Cup champions are in this division, so where will they be next year at the end of the year? Let's see how it goes here. Let's start off with number 8, who is pretty damn obvious in my opinion. That is going to be the San Jose Sharks. Their team is very, very bad, guys, and now they're trading their best player, best defenseman, Erik Karlsson. Most likely, obviously, he's still in the Sharks now, but I'm predicting he will get traded. So I think the Sharks are going to be even worse. That is very surprising, because they're really, really, really bad. So now we really didn't talk much about the Sharks, because what are they even doing, man? I don't know any of their players. I don't know any of their prospects. Sharks are okay. Number 7 is going to be the Anaheim Ducks. They're right with them, if I'm being honest with you, but they're better. And obviously, they have Trevor Zegras. You have Troy Terry, and you have a couple other good players on the team. Obviously, rebuild. It's definitely a full rebuild for the Ducks here. They're just trying to get more prospects. Hopefully, Leo Carlson could pop off. Very bold for skipping on Fantilli, but it is what it is for the Ducks. Hopefully, they can take the next step soon. And now, number 6, guys, I'm going to say the Calgary Flames. I'm not liking this roster, because other players, I said this before, other players are wanting to leave. All their best players who are in have 1 year left want to leave. Lindholm, Hannafin, Backlund, they don't want to resign there. And I don't know if they asked for a trade completely, but they said they don't want to resign there. So, like, does the GM trade them? Do they just try to have a good year and maybe hopefully resign him? I don't really know, because Hannafin's a really good player. Lindholm's a good player. Backlund's obviously a little bit older, but still a solid player. Obviously, you still have Huberdeau. You still have Kadri. You still have some good players on this team. Markstrom has been honestly selling you for the last couple of years. I feel like he should have been better. But the defense in front of him has not been the greatest hockey at all. The greatest hockey, man, if I'm being honest with you. But you keep all the players. Let's hypothetically say they keep all the players. I just feel like the buy-in on this team was never there. I feel like the chemistry was not there on this team, and they just don't really care. I just feel like they just never really cared, and I don't know why. I just don't know why. I feel like, tell me if I'm wrong. I just don't like the vibe of the Flames, if I'm being honest with you. I just don't like the vibes of the team. The overall morale of the team does not seem there. So that's why I'm going to put them at 6. And yeah, who knows if I'm wrong, but that's where I'm going to put them. Number 5 here is going to be the Vancouver Canucks. I always say this about the Vancouver Canucks every single time I talk about them. Really good team on paper. Can they take the next step and actually put it on the ice? Demko, rough season last year, obviously did get hurt. So I'm hoping he can come back fully healthy and stay fully healthy, because he's a very, very good goaltender when he is fully healthy. So hopefully he can continue that. Besser, I'm hoping he is 100% as well. I hope he's all good. Pedersen, unreal. JT Miller, very good offensive player. Defensive, doesn't really buy on the defensive side of the puck. I don't know if it's bad character. That's what I've heard. Who really knows? Don't really want to put that out there. But who knows about JT Miller? Kuzmenko is very, very good. This team has very good players. Obviously, Quinn Hughes, unreal defenseman. Who wouldn't want him on their team, right? This team is very good. They just got to buy in. They just got to lock in the first full year of Rick Tocchet as well. A very good coach. So I think Tocchet could get this whole team bought in. And honestly, they could slip in. They could slip up to the in the playoffs. I would not be surprised about that, because the Central Division is very, very weak. So I wouldn't be surprised if there's 5 teams from the Pacific Division making the playoffs. So Canucks, I'd watch out for them to make the playoffs next year. I think this team could do it. Obviously, we have been saying this every year, so that's why I don't really trust the Canucks. We have been saying this every year. Like, this team's good, man. Their defense did get better in front of Demko as well, so that should help. The depth got better with Bluger. This team could make the playoffs, and that's what I'm predicting as well. So I think playoff hockey could be coming back to Vancouver. Let's see what happens with number 4, guys. That is going to be the Seattle Kraken, guys. This team is very, very good. They did lose a couple of their defensemen, but I still think this team they're just well built, very well built defensively. Depth wise is very good as well. Up front, you obviously have Jared McCann, very good season. Bernier's a very good season as well. They just have a lot of good scorers, like depth scorers. Eberle, very good producing. Yeah, so I just feel like their depth and just the way they're built is just built for playoff hockey, and they're just fun to watch, guys. Fans always buy in for them. Very fun. It's just very fun team to watch, and I think this team 100% will do good next year. I think 4th is a playoff spot comfortably for them, and a Kraken back in the playoffs, maybe. Who knows, right? They almost made it to the conference finals last year, so anything really could happen with the Kraken. Let's go to number 3, guys. This might be very, very bold here, but I'm going to say the Vegas Golden Knights. I feel like this team is going to have Stanley Cup hangover and not have the best regular season. Still a very, very good team. I just feel like the teams above them are built for the regular season, and they're just going to be better. I just think they're going to be better. Knights basically have the same team. They did lose a couple players, obviously, but Aiden Hill's coming back, so maybe he can produce like he did in the playoffs. Who knows if he does like fall off a little. We'll see what happens there. Maybe even Thompson takes over the net again, but who knows. This teams are very, very good. Obviously you have Stone, you have Eichel, you have Marchessault. Obviously Riley Smith did get traded, so maybe that is an issue in the locker room now. I doubt it, because this defense is very solid. The captaincy is very good as well. I feel like they have a good core in this team, and I think they're going to try to go back to back, and it's possible, man. It's possible, but I think 3 is where they're going to stick right now. And number 2 is going to be the LA Kings. I just feel like Pierre-Luc Dubois is going to add a different aspect to this team. Another goal scoring piece to help Kempe, because honestly, he put up, 40 last year? Very, very good. Kopitar is still unreal. They have some good players, man. Obviously, defense might be a little bit weak. Goaltender is very, very weak on the team. I feel like that is a huge, huge downfall for this team is goaltender, man. They do not have a good goalie. Like, obviously, I feel like they're trying to hope one of them turns into an Aiden Hill and like when they hit the playoffs, they just turn into Aiden Hill and just steal the playoffs. But I just don't think that's going to happen, man. I just don't think that's going to happen. So I think that is going to let down the Kings. So that might be an issue. And I think that they might fall down in the standings just off the goaltender alone. But I'm going to have to keep it number 2. I feel like Pierre-Luc Dubois is just going to be a perfect addition for them. He's going to score 30, and this team's going to pop off in the regular season. It's going to be close, but I still think they get second. Number 1 is going to be the Edmonton Oilers, guys. They're just built for the regular season, I'm going to be honest with you. You have Connor McDavid, you have Leon Draisaitl, you have Nugent Hopkins. Obviously, you have Connor Brown now, very good player. Hopefully, he can come back from his injury perfectly good, and that'd be a very low risk, high reward, very high reward if it turns out well. Defense, very big issue on this team still. Goaltender as well. Is Stuart Skinner going to be good? Like playoffs, regular season, he was pretty damn good. Playoffs was hit or miss, man. Same thing with Jack Campbell. You guys paid a lot of money for him, and he did not really produce like we thought he would. So maybe that is an issue. Darnell Nurse, not a good defenseman, but Elcom, you still have some good defensive. Bouchard is a very good defenseman as well. So you guys do have some good pieces. They just gotta buy in. They gotta lock it on the back end. Even on the forwards, I feel like the forwards gotta lock it more on the back end. The depth, the bottom 6 is not the greatest as well, but you have Connor McDavid. You're gonna make the playoffs, man. Very good regular season teams. You guys were the hottest at the end of the season. I think you might bring that back to the beginning of the year and just start hot. So that is the Pacific Division, guys. Comment below if I'm wrong. That is mine for now. All right, guys, the final division of this video is going to be the Central Division. In my opinion, it's the worst division in hockey, but let's see how this goes. Let's start with number 8 here. I'm going to say the Chicago Blackhawks. Obviously, you guys got Connor Bedard. You guys skipped your rebuild probably 2 years with that generational player, but still, you guys are not a great team. You have Taylor Hall, you have Corey Perry, whatever. They're not going to bring you guys to the playoffs. Nothing like that right now. It's just for now. It's just someone to have Bedard play with, have a really good player, have Bedard play with. I still think if you guys finish 8th, you're not going to be that good next year. It is what it is. It's going to be fun watching Bedard. But all that, it is what it is. A couple years, they'll be making playoffs and bringing another dynasty to Chicago. All right, guys, number 7 here might be a little bold. I'm going to say the St. Louis Blues, guys. This team is good, but not great. They didn't really do much in the offseason. They added Kevin Hayes, who's solid, fairly solid. Honestly, I feel like I'm kind of stupid putting him here, but I got to go bold here. I got to go bold in the early. So obviously, guys, make sure to subscribe and like so you guys do not miss out my final right before the season starts. But 7, after you have Kyrou, you have Hayes, you still have Krug. Binnington as your goaltender is not the greatest. So I just feel like you guys don't do much in the offseason. Scoring might be an issue for this team. I just don't like it, man. I just don't like the Blues. I don't like the vibe anymore. So I just feel like 7 is the way to go for them. Obviously, it's going to be close. There's a couple teams in this division that are very, very close. Number 6 is going to be the Arizona Coyotes, man. Very surprising because I get it. They're a bad team. They're a bad rep. Everyone thinks, oh, when you think of the Coyotes, they're really, really bad. I get it. They're playing in Mola Arena, $5,000, 5,000 seat arena, whatever. College arena. I get it. They got better in the offseason, guys. They got my brother Jason. They got Kerfoot. They still have a lot of young players. Logan Cooley just signed. You have Michelli. You have Clayton Keller. You have some good players, man. Defense is obviously very, very weak. But you have Sean Jersey. He's not bad. He's a good defenseman. But obviously you have Velmeka on the back end. Not the greatest goaltender, but with a better defense in front of him, maybe he can be a better goaltender. But you guys have more goal scoring. I wouldn't be surprised if Coyotes slide up to 6. Obviously, I wouldn't be surprised if they stand at 7 or 8. That would make more sense. But I'm going to give them the benefit of doubt and slide them up to 6. Number 5 here is going to be the Winnipeg Jets. They're a solid team. Like I said before, they're a mid team. I feel like they're just well-rounded at times. They have Connor Hellebuck. Obviously, you did lose Pierre-Luc Dubois. Obviously, he might have been a cancer in the locker room. I don't really know, but that's what I have heard. But who knows if that is true or not. But Wheeler is gone as well. So it's just up to Connor. It is up to Scheifele. You guys have Iafallo now. You guys do have some good depth, but I just don't know if they're all gonna buy in. We'll see what happens. This team they're always hovering around playoffs or just sneaking into playoffs. They're always doing that. I wouldn't want to play them in the playoffs. They're a good team. Connor Hellebuck is very, very good. Who knows if he gets traded because he has 1 year left. Same thing with Scheifele. We'll see what happens there. But I feel like they're always hovering around playoffs, and I would not be surprised if they do that again. So just expect the Jets right next to playoffs, and who knows if they can sneak in. Obviously, this might change right before the real season starts for my final predictions, but as of now, I'm putting at 5. Number 4 is going to be the Nashville Predators. This team is solid, man. This team is in a weird spot. They're in a weird spot for the franchise. They were sold at the trade deadline last year, but now they got better in the offseason this year. They're adding Riley, who's a really, really good player for the Leafs. I don't know why you left the Leafs. You got Luke Shen as well. You got Nyquist as well. This team got better in ways. You still have UC Saros, you still have Forsberg, you still have Yossi. This team is solid on the back end. McDonald's still on the back end. This team's solid, man. This team is very, very solid. But goal scoring, I feel like, will be an issue. The depth isn't the greatest on the team as all. So I feel like goal scoring, it's going to be low scoring games and just hoping on Saros to be very, very good. And we'll see if the defense can help Saros, because obviously you need a good defense in front of you, unless you have a Vasilevsky on your team. But yeah, I think goal scoring is going to be a big issue for the Predators, but I think they're going to be a solid team overall, very solid defensively. They're going to play kind of a boring brand of hockey, in my opinion, but it is what it is. They're trying to win games defensively. Number 3 here is going to be the Minnesota Wild. I would not be surprised if the team falls out, man. I do not like this roster. I say it every time. I don't like how it's built. Obviously, you have a superstar in Kaprizov, and Boldy showed himself very good last year, so I think Boldy is definitely an all-star, probably a caliber player. But other than that, man, obviously you just signed Gustafsson. Fleury's has probably 1 more year left. Defense is not the greatest. Spurgeon's solid. Brodin is solid. You lost Dumba. He wasn't the greatest anymore. I get it. But forwards, man, like Zuccarello, cool. Who else do you have? Eric Zanek, solid. Foligno, solid. Hartman, solid. I don't like this team, man. I'm being honest with you. I just don't, obviously there's some cap issues with Parise and Suter's contract being bought out, but still, I just don't like how it's built. The goal scoring is always an issue, like you saw last year in playoffs against the Dallas Stars. They couldn't score. They could not score, and I feel like that is a big issue. Kaprizov can't do it all himself. So that is number 3 here. Number 2 is going to be the Colorado Avalanche. Very, very good team. Superstars on this team: Kale McCarr, McKinnon, Rantanen. Very, very good players. Obviously, Bowen Beimer as well. Obviously, Landeskog is not going to be playing the whole season, which is a huge, huge loss. Maybe he comes back and pulls a Mark Stone and comes back during playoffs. But who knows? Obviously, I doubt that. But who knows? You never know with Landeskog. But this team is unreal. We expect them at the top of the league every time, and it will be close there next season. But this team, I couldn't put them first because this team ahead of them is just different, man. Dallas Stars, this roster is so, so good. And you have Jake Onger in the back end, who's very, very solid. Obviously, Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, they're slowing down. Ben didn't have a great playoffs, neither did Seguin. But you have Robertson, you have Wyatt Johnson, who's a very, very good player. You have Rope Hintz, who's very underrated in my opinion. The Rope Hintz is unreal. But this team is solid, man. I didn't even talk about Heiskanen yet, who's a very, very good player. This team is going to be superstars. This team is going to be probably the top 3 in the NHL in the next couple of years, because they do have a lot of good prospects as well. So Dallas Stars, number 1 in the Central for sure. I would not be surprised if they make it back to the conference finals next year and maybe beat the Golden Knights or something like that. But hey, man, Dallas Stars are definitely going to be top of the league. And that is the Central Division, you guys, and that is the entire video. Comment down below if you guys did agree with me. Don't yell at me too much if I messed up. Obviously, I did go bold here. but it's early, guys. It's early. I will be making another one. I will be making a full 1 to 32 video as well, so check that out in the near future. So make sure to subscribe and like, guys. It really does help out a lot. Longer videos, guys. Hope you guys are buckled up and enjoyed it, guys. So comment down below, maybe you can be featured in the next video. If you guys did enjoy, please drop a like and subscribe. It really does help a lot. Be great. I'll see you guys later.